Hey guys, Pyker here, and welcome back to another episode of Kethane Space Program. This is going to be a relatively short episode because I have been running into some troubles. Um, this episode, there's a lot going on, so I figured I'd chop it all up and bring it down to very very short segments. Well, not very very short, but short enough that you guys won't want to kill yourselves for watching this video. As long as if I would have left it, this is probably about 2 hours worth of gameplay that I kind of combined into 14 minutes of actual footage and commentary, because it would just been way too much to try. I would have taken 4 episodes to show you guys, all the stuff that I'm doing in this one episode. So just to make it easy, I just chopped everything up kind of and got you guys and gave you parts of this episode with the important parts, like docking certain things and landing certain things and whatnot. But this episode is relatively nice, actually. It's we get I don't even know if I have you guys on. You must have. There must have been something. Yeah. Whoa. It's been a week. I haven't even I haven't even thought of. I didn't even remember what the last episode was, but I remember that it was we actually got the mining module up to the personnel carrier. Wow. I haven't played this game in a minute. Work's been crazy recently, so I just haven't had time to record any episodes. But today I'm actually sitting down and I'm gonna record a few episodes of certain things. So it'll be a good time. But anyways. This is our power module, and everything is pretty much at 2 times normal speed because it would just take too long if I let it be normal speed. So I decided to speed it up a little bit, and just to keep, so you guys don't have to sit there for a half an hour and watch me put another thing into orbit and then dock another thing to another thing and blah 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 blah. But anyways, this is the power module, and we're taking it up to our personnel carrier. And we're going to dock it, and then we're going to take our personnel carrier to the moon, and then we're going to drop the power module off on the moon surface, because I did find a suitable, not perfectly flat, but flat enough spot that we could set up our mining operation. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest either. I'm sure I could find a better one, but I just couldn't at the moment, and it would just take way too long, and the amount of fuel that I'd have to use, I'd have to play this game for 8 hours just to get everything I need, to get more fuel and fly around and check certain spots. So I just said screw it and kind of settled with a not so perfect spot. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not what I would like, but anyway, whatever. So in this, or not in this, yeah, in this episode, what we're doing is we're taking this power module and we're going to hook it up with our personnel carrier. The one problem that I ran into with the power module is that you guys will see it as soon as we dock with the personnel carrier. You'll actually notice that the power module is slightly taller than the mining module. I don't know why. I thought I looked at both of the designs for it whenever I was building it in the airplane hangar, but it just I don't know why they weren't the same size. Whenever I docked them, they looked way off. So I ended up reverting the flight, rebuilding the power module again, and then docking that again completely off camera, because I got this one on camera and I just didn't really feel like filming it again or recording it again. So I did that from behind the camera, and so yeah, we're getting our power module up there. I know it's been a while since I recorded a last Kethane episode, and I don't even know if I'm going to record a regular Let's Play episode today. Today, yes, today. I don't know. I have 2 new games that I want to do a Let's Plays for, so I'm gonna try and see how those things go with recording and whatnot on those Let's Plays. So hopefully those will be up today as well. But like I said, I'm gonna wait until I see exactly how well they look whenever I record them, because this is the first recording of the day, and it's just been a long day, and I don't know, my sleep schedule's all messed up now. I don't know, it's been a rough week, guys. Oh man. Well, Anyways, we are now in orbit with our power module, and we're just getting situated to rendezvous with our personnel carrier. Couldn't even think of the word. Wow. So yeah, we are doing that right this second, and we are going to take this power module to the moon. And I don't know if you guys can notice, but I don't know if there's any spot in here where you can actually see the top of the power module. But if you notice, on top of the power module, there is no docking port because I completely forgot about it. And this was the second launch that I did to rendezvous with the personnel carrier, so I decided that I was just going to say screw it and try to land the power module on the surface of the moon without a docking port on top of it. So it's going to be difficult, to say the least. It's not easy, that's for sure. So we met up with our personnel tanker, and all we got to do is dock. Hey, look at that, we're docking. Isn't that something? So yeah, we're gonna dock this up real quick, and then I built the module that was carrying the power module, I guess. I built it so it had parachutes and its own computer and power, so it could undock from the power module and then fly back down into the Kerbal atmosphere, so we didn't leave any space junk out. So yeah, this episode took a lot out of me. I think I started recording it at like, probably actually I started recording bits and pieces of it last night, and I started recording again today at like 2 or 3 o'clock, and it is now 6 o'clock. So it's been a rough day of recording. So there we are. We are all docked up, and we are doing a nice fade, yay! Well, it's a slow fade, but a fade into the personnel tanker setting up a maneuver with the moon. So we're gonna take this guy out to the moon and get it into orbit around the moon and set it up at actually what we need to do is set it up in a orbit that is right next to our space station at the moon. So what we end up doing is we end up parking our personnel tanker or carrier about 1 kilometer away from the actual space station. Hey, look, we're at the space station with the X-Tug. Isn't that something? These cuts are too funny to me. So what we did is we put our personnel carrier. You can obviously see that we're docking from it right now, but you can see the space station in the background. It's sitting at about 700 meters away. So we parked the personnel carrier near the space station so we could just basically undock the X-Tug from the space station, fly it over to the personnel tanker real quick, and pick up our power module. I figured that would probably be the easiest way to do it, and it turned out that it actually was very easy to do it that way. So if you guys have a lot of spacecraft orbiting, and my advice is to literally park about 700 to 1 kilometer away, 700 meters to 1 kilometer away from your target that you need to pull things from or move things from or whatever. Especially if your computer can't handle thousands of parts, because I don't know if you guys could see, but this power module has, holy crap, a lot of parts on it. It's probably got about 20 or 10, 15 at least of the regular non-solar panel, I guess. I can't remember what they're called, the power generators, the little spiky looking things. It's got about 15 of those on it. It's got 4 batteries. It's got more than that. It's got about 8 batteries on it. It's got 2 girders, 4 girders. What else is on there? 4 wheels, 2 docking ports, a computer, and 6 solar panels. So it's got a lot of potential to generate lots of power, which is exactly what we needed to do. So that's why I designed it that way. So what we're doing now is we're just taking this guy down to where our Kethane miner is. I landed the Kethane miner off camera on a very rich Kethane deposit, and it looked pretty like a flat area, and that you could find a pretty flat area near where my Kethane miner is. So I decided that I would try to build the base in that general area. It's a large area of Kethane. That's a very rich area of Kethane as well. So I figured there's got to be some kind of an area in there that's flat enough that we could set up our moon base. So right now what we're doing is we're deorbiting with our power module, and basically the plan is to take this power module down to the surface, very carefully. Not to mention that this X-Tug doesn't really have that much fuel in it, unfortunately. I wish I would have designed it that it held a little bit more fuel, but unfortunately I did not do that. So it is a pain in the ass to manage your fuel in a way that you can't really make any burns that are non every burn you make has to be useful, like extremely useful. Otherwise, you'll run out of fuel and be screwed. Um, which I end up doing. Uh, so lesson learned. But I didn't want to build another X-Tug and fly it out and do blah 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 and do all that. I mean, it's just this game takes a lot of planning and a lot of patience to just fly things from Kerbin out to get to certain places and whatnot. But I want to show you guys certain things, and I also there's certain things that you guys don't really need to see. So I'm trying to make it so it's chopped up in an order that is suitable, so you guys can still see the majority of the cool stuff that's going on, but also kind of skip over the crap that you don't really need to see, like getting into orbit and docking and rendezvousing with certain things that you've seen rendezvous and dock before. So. Alright, so basically we're taking this X-Tug, well, the power module, down to the surface here, and if you notice, we have less than a half tank of fuel on all of our engines on the X-Tug, so we are cutting it close here. So we're going to bring it down, and we're going to try to hover just above the surface of the moon, and just undock, so on a hill too, so I have them coming down on a hill, and I have to make sure that the power module is leaning or sets a certain way so it lands on its wheels. So it's a huge pain in the ass. So we're bringing it down, and we're going to try to hover just above the surface, undock, and let the power module fall down to the surface, kind of tip over onto its wheels, and be safe. And if you notice there, we put on the brakes there, so whenever we do undock, that it won't go flying down a hill or anything and crash and explode. I didn't do that before, and yeah. Anyways, so we're hovering right above the surface here, and we are getting ready to undock, and then we gotta fly away really quick so we don't run into it. And we have to make sure that our power module is actually safe, and I kind of didn't even look. I just wanted to get this thing away so that in case anything terrible would happen, that it wouldn't crash into our power module. As long as our power module was intact, I'd be happy. So as you can see here, I have very, very little fuel, so I'm shutting down 2 engines and taking the fuel out of those engines and putting them into the main cargo so that the other 2 engines can use them. So yeah, so what ends up happening is I end up running out of fuel right as I get it into orbit, and all I have left is monoprop fuel to actually rendezvous back with our space station so we could refuel our X-Tug. This was a nightmare, guys. This was a nightmare episode, and I figured I'd just chop it up and show you guys what's going on with it. So as you can see, after our nice little fade here, that our power module is safely on the surface of the moon, and it is not in pieces. And now I got a huge drive ahead of me, well, not a huge drive, but a long enough drive that it's a pain. So thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button to make sure that this series keeps going. Those definitely help me out a lot. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.